sounds like
You know, this
begin.
is great weather for a body man, and he said that, we're going to have a great year.
Joe?
What? Well, where did he go?
Who cares? Let's just go.
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 1699, January 21st, 2026. 48 degrees, the record high on this day. That was in 1900. And a few years before, it was 41 below on this day in 1888. More about that in a moment. Call Josh Arnold at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
It combines class-winning and leading, technology and stuff with Wi-Fi powered by OnStar.
Hail the flashlight, King.
Yeah.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Heidt in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Soucheray.
A couple of things before we find out what John discovered. John and I chatted this morning about that record low of 41 below in 1888. Yesterday we mentioned the growing fragility of children. Callie Proctor wrote a piece for the Minneapolis Times saying that kids are being told they can't handle anything. And it struck me that plays so well into the manipulative efforts to get people to believe this climate change BS. These kids are already afraid of their own shadow. So you tell them it's going to be 20 below, they think it's the end of the world. They have no idea of the history of Minnesota and what it's been. As recently as this winter, we'll still have some. But I mean, I remember in the 70s, just terrible stretches of cold weather. And now we're being sold, the country is being sold, most principally by the Weather Channel, which I have a love-hate relationship with. We're being sold on the idea that any minute now, a catastrophic storm will hit 180 million people in the middle to the southern part of the country with cold temperatures. It's 20 below. Trees will explode. I even read that somewhere. The trees are going to explode. I've never seen an exploding tree due to cold weather. No.
Even way up in the Yukon where it's 80 below, you don't see it.
No. I do recall Freddie the gardener saying that lightning could cause a tree to explode.
Oh, yeah. It's so cool
because
when that
it heats
happens.
Up the water inside.
The water gets superheated
yeah.
and then expands and blows up the tree.
Yeah.
I don't think cold weather blows up a tree. In any event, this catastrophe is on the nation's doorstep, and we're being sold on the idea that you shouldn't leave home and hunker down and be ready for it. Anyway, on this day in 1888, it was 41 below. Did the newspapers have anything to say, John?
They did. The Sunday Tribune for January 22nd, 1988, because that was the end of the cold spell, you said?
Right. Yesterday, the record was also in 1888.
Yep. Yeah. And page one, there was nothing, the front page.
Jeez,
incidentally, if you've ever seen a newspaper from 1988,
take you... John, 1888.
1888, I'm sorry. It would take 6 hours to read
they
the
threw
newspaper.
everything in there. There was no rhyme or reason.
And the print was this big.
Right.
Anyway, you go to page 2, January 22nd, 1888.
That was a Sunday paper, right?
That was a Sunday paper. There's 16 pages that day in the paper.
Yep.
On page 2 was a little headline that said, "Fallen Low." And then underneath, it said, "The mercury falls to the bottom of the bulb and stays there, the record of many years smashed to all smithereens."
Isn't that something? You know what that tells me?
What?
Prior to 1888, when it was 41 below, back somewhere in the 19th century or 18th century, it was colder than that.
Yep.
I mean, it was cold, and then they set the new record.
That's a sense.
I then lost count, but there were then all small paragraphs with different date lines. from the region. So every city basically reporting in with what their low temperature was.
Right.
And all of this, apparently before that, there was a blizzard in Iowa and South Dakota. So there was a lot of things there. That's where all the deaths occurred. The deaths, we only had one in our region, and that was in the territory of Dakota, because that was still a territory. It was not a state yet. Neither North or South Dakota were states yet. And in fact, on the date lines, it said Fargo, Dakota, Hettinger, Dakota, Huron, Dakota, instead of North or South Dakota. Anyway, there were all these little things. And then there was a quote from the newspaper in Owatonna.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it started with, on account of the snow and cold, very few people are stirring out.
Really?
On account of. That was the beginning of the
Because on account of, you want to know why? Well, it stands to reason that you would die trapped in 41 below weather.
Correct.
That's horrible.
Well, if you're a idiot.
I got news for you, my man Mountain Dean. You'd die too if you were trapped in it.
Okay, let's have a contest tomorrow night. This will be like our ice skating contest.
Yeah, the skate.
It's going to be 17 below tomorrow night.
That's nothing.
In the metro.
That's nothing.
It's going to be 29 below here.
Yeah, we'll stand outside.
Let's the both of us spend the night outside.
Well, I'm not going to.
Well,
I mean, I think
that seems silly.
That just seems silly. Just seems
We didn't
silly.
have tornadoes here until we started putting into traffic circles. Because on the count of, you want to know why? When people go round and round in circles, it causes disturbance in the atmosphere and causes tornadoes.
John, did any of your gazing at this old paper, did they use the word calamity, catastrophe, end of the world? You didn't see any of that?
No, it was more basically a point of interest, kind of, this is kind of cool almost kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Boy.
Also, page 12, if you went to page 12.
What are you, Paul Harvey?
Tons of letters with the headline, Old Settlers Tell of the Winters of the Past. And it's all these letters from people saying, when I was a kid, we had
day.
that kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
the same thing that you and Joe do now, almost every show.
Yeah.
On my day.
Since Rookie did request it, I do have audio of the news reporter reporting on the exploding trees.
And I posted it on my Facebook page. Soon I posted on my Facebook, it said, "Kapooyah, kapooyah!"
That's right,
And
that tree's
boy, that hell
exploded.
just came in. I looked out opened my door, and I looked out my door and started hitting me in my head. I took out running, ran to my
Hit me in my
restroom, and
head.
then I called my mama to see was she all right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Booyah!
Back to the modern child. The modern child has no knowledge of this, no means to put this in context, probably not even a parent to set them straight because the parents are so young, they have no context. It's winter, and we've completely lost sight of the fact that this is what's supposed to happen. What's the temperature supposed to be? The nation is being sold on the end of the world over, as far down as Atlanta, for example. Well, you'll be all right.
That's why I think it's a ray of hope every time I see a young dum-dum walking into school or into the store when it's 10 above or 10 below wearing shorts. When I should be outraged, I'm like, go America, USA!
I have a grandchild who knows better, who refuses to wear socks even in the winter.
Yeah, I know a few people like that.
Wow.
For what purpose?
He feels he gets a better feel of the ground of the.
Well, do you
look
wear
at his
socks in your
socks.
do you wear socks in your skates?
I did very thin ones.
Yeah, same here, but a lot of players go
A
barefoot.
lot of players in the NHL go barefoot.
Yeah.
But
Really?
they're not skating outside. I mean,
Did you wear socks when you pitched?
Yes.
Okay.
did you wear socks today?
I got
Because you have some very
I got
odd.
some polos on right now.
You have some very odd pants on.
I got the polo. Yeah. I've got fancy pants on.
There's snowflakes on your pants, and
Yep, I've got a nice velvet blue sport coat to wear over my tuxedo shirt.
Jeez.
Think how easy it's. Think how easy the failed academy has it to get these kids to believe in climate change BS, in the sense that climate change is going to ruin the world. These kids have no idea. They're gullible.
No.
They've been told since the day they were born that the utmost care must be taken about everything,
It's easy
which
to
is
guide
fine.
them.
I understand that. But my God, they can't handle anything. So a teacher of ill intent could easily say to them, "Now, kids, you be aware. There's a storm coming in the middle of the country this weekend. It could be 20 below, and that shouldn't happen." Well, hell, it shouldn't. It happens all the time.
So they're going to cancel schools so they don't have to go to schools, but they can go out and protest.
Now, apparently, Minnesota, we're in the northern third of the country that's going to miss all this. It'll be cold here, but we ain't getting the end of the world.
The
apparently.
brunt of it.
Yeah,
The
brunt.
surge.
Well, there were big stories yesterday about snow in northern Florida.
Yeah, they had some.
You want snow? Go to that Kamchatka or whatever that place is in eastern Russia.
Did you see the one? I think it must have been a resort on the hill.
It's got to be AI. I can't believe it.
Kenny, I thought the same thing.
I
but
can't believe it.
Where was
everything
it?
is covered.
Not in Florida.
We're
Here's the problem of the modern
Jesus,
world.
Matthew.
Is it real or AI?
Right. Everything.
In Kamchatka, however you say that, wherever that is, it's not AI.
I think
They don't
that's...
even have the ability to do AI in Kamchatka. They're lucky to get a picture.
Wait a minute. Isn't Kamchatka... That's a blend at customroasting.net.
John, would you please look it up? It's in eastern Russia. You damn near can see Alaska from there. And it's out there on a peninsula, and they got a lot of snow. And
It
it's
is
lake
a
effect.
peninsula. You are correct.
it is a peninsula. What's it? How do you pronounce it? It's the...
I think you're doing it right.
I'd go with Kamchatka, yeah, like you were.
my God, I was...
You got to say more like Kamchatka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't say Kamchatka. It's not happy. It's Russia. It's gray and dim. Yeah. Kamchatka.
There was a picture in the Star Tribune last week. I meant to point it out. It was a black and white picture. It was the backs of three people on the Stone Arch Bridge, and it was hazy and misty and gray, and it might as well have been Russia. And I thought, isn't that politically fitting for what we're facing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Joe, Kupka. It's pronounced Kupka?
Not to me.
How do you spell it again? I'll
Well, I'm on the Wikipedia page.
How do you spell it, please?
Spell it.
Kamchatka.
All right.
Kamchatka.
How do you say? You'll find?
Kupka.
I don't know. It ain't Kupka.
Hang on.
Kamchatka.
Kamchatka.
Hey, you were right, Joe.
Kamchatka.
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 Yeah. Look at the pictures of Kamchatka. That ain't AI.
Kamchatka.
That sounds like that's a disco band, Kamchatka.
There's kids that open the fifth floor window of their apartment. They're sliding down to the bottom. I think it's cool. Although it's getting to the point where you start to wonder, maybe it is the end of the world.
Are we going to get out of
God,
here?
we can only hope. Jesus. Let's go.
I told you I need my week's advance. I got to catch up on some.
Where is your place that you'd buy the Luckies from? You got a spot?
At the gas station, I suppose.
Where you
With
have
my
privileges?
luck-
Where you have privileges?
Yeah.
The asteroid would be approaching. We're 5 days away from imminent doom. I would go around burning every single bridge I have, a la Larry David, and then the thing would miss us,
Right.
and we'd be just fine. Everything would be fine.
Hey, about all that.
Like wrong lottery numbers on Reno 911.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we might have downplayed the significance of these left-wing radicals who entered a church Sunday and caused a terrible disturbance. Apparently, they were motivated by the idea that the pastor there is also works for ICE. Well, pastors can have other jobs. And these left-wing radicals, left-wing Marxist radical what's her name? Nakima Levy.
Nakima.
Well,
She was terribly upset that this guy worked for ICE. That's none of her business.
Fox News has reported far left agitator Nakima Levy Armstrong.
Well, they're left-wing radicals. They always call the right-wing people. We got to remember to keep calling the left wing what the left wing is.
Correct.
So we might not have given that story the significance it deserved. We also learned from an Alpha story that anti-ICE left-wing radicals, I'm saying that, stormed a St. Paul church Sunday morning and shut down the worship service after learning that one of the church's pastors works as an ICE agent. I'm not going to say allegedly anymore because I saw on the news last night Channel 5 had determined that he does, in fact, double as a pastor and an ICE agent, which is fine with me. You get to work for ICE. It's this is unacceptable. It's shameful. The lead pastor of City's Church, Jonathan Parnell, said to Don Lemon, meaning your presence here is unacceptable. And Lemon is not worth how much he weighs. He has just been so disgraced for his lousy work. He's a left-wing radical, and he was told it's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians at worship. But the pastor, one of the church's pastors, is a guy named David Eastwood, and he works as an ICE agent. Left-wing radical Nakimi Levy Armstrong said they were there to let the church know this will not stand. Well, it's not up to you, left-wing radical Nakimi. They cannot pretend to be a house of God while harboring someone who is directing ICE agents. Not up to you, Nakimi. Armstrong was the individual, Nakimi, who initiated this disruption inside the church, yelling as the lead pastor finished a prayer. If I have my facts straight, David Eastwood, the pastor with whom they have differences, he wasn't even there. Was a different pastor on the altar.
Let he who is without sin cast the first stone.
But the left-wing radical Nakimi and 20 other left-wing radicals chanted things like Renee Good, hands up, don't shoot. The church emptied of most of its congregants, and their left-wing radicals dissipated about 45 minutes later once the St. Paul police arrived. Well, bleep you people. Stay out of a church. They waited, too, until the sermon started.
It's a different set of rules, it almost feels like.
Yeah, well, left-wing radicals have different rules.
Got it.
Well, I would say it this way. They don't have any rules.
True.
And so they waited until the sermon started, and then they started bitching and moaning and screaming. And it was chaos, and they served their purpose, which was to disrupt the church service into chaos. They accomplished nothing except demonstrate who they really are. Nakima Levy has made a lot of money as a left-wing radical. So is Lemon.
She's going to make more, too, with her book.
Yeah.
If you and Rookie are attending this particular mass and this gets interrupted.
It wasn't a mass, Chris.
Okay, service.
Would
you two look at each other and go, does this count?
Yeah,
Still counts,
I
right?
already thought,
Here.
hey, we're not going to have a sermon today. All right, let's go. Hey, let's shorten her up.
I went to that church the other day, refreshing my memory of it. And then left-wing...
Did it used to be an Episcopalian church?
I don't know.
I think so.
Left-wing radical Armstrong posted on Facebook following the incident, listing several co-organizers of the disruption, including Monique Cullors Doty, Chantil Allen, who is a complete fake. Chantil Allen is a St. Paul School Board member. She's famous, of course, for that dust-up she tried to create at a Japanese restaurant back in 2021 or 2022. She is a pathetic person to have on the school board. She has no background in anything. She's not terribly bright. Satara Strong Allen, and they're saying, it's time for judgment, and the judgment will begin in the house of God, left-wing radical Nakimi Armstrong said, or wrote. Another individual who participated goes by the name Da Woke Farmer.
Yeah!
DA? DA Woke?
Da Woke Farmer. And he was complaining about white people living lavish, comfortable lives. Well, you go bleep yourself too, Woke Farmer. You have no bleeping idea what you're talking about. The point is, people that these are left-wing radicals who are telling you that they don't believe in immigration laws. They don't believe in borders, and they don't believe the country should exclude anyone, and that the United States should be lived in by whoever wants to be here, and they can do whatever they want. So you either have a country or you don't. Now, let's just cut to the chase with the presence of these left-wing radicals in the church complaining because one of the pastors there works for immigration control enforcement, that it invalidates the church in the left-wing radicals' mind. B, it invalidates the congregants who just live lavish lifestyles. There's no cause and effect to prove that. So what they're really saying is we're here on behalf of the ideology that no such thing as immigration, illegal immigration, exists. We don't want borders. We don't think there should be borders. Borders are merely an affectation of the corrupted founding of the country by the white people in Philadelphia. We don't like it, and we're here to complain about it. That's all left-wing Marxist radical Armstrong accomplished. So we also learned from another Alpha story. You're not going to read any of this in the other newspapers in town. You might get it in the American Experiment, the Minneapolis Times, Sahan Journal. But we learned from Alpha that a key staffer for the Minneapolis left-wing radical county attorney, who would be Mary Moriarty, praised the anti-immigration and customs enforcement agitators who invaded the church service and suggested that he was present. His name is Jamal Lundy, an intergovernmental affairs coordinator for the Hennepin County Attorney's Office. That's a job that cannot be measured for achievement, so he doesn't work. I'm serious. It's called the Intergovernmental Affairs Coordinator for the Hennepin County Attorney.
What?
He doesn't work.
What? Yeah.
Jamal Lundy, you don't have a job. That cannot be measured for any. I want to see what you've achieved, Jamal. You're a left-wing radical. Other than that, what have you achieved? And he said he met up with a group of protesters and got in some good trouble, highlighting that a church in the Twin Cities has a pastor who is an ICE field director. So what? That's what the guy does for a living.
Right.
Yeah, it gets worse. Keep reading.
When Minnesotans say we want ICE out, we mean it, right? Lundy added his video included pictures of the incident in which agitators interrupted a Sunday service at City's Church. It's an evangelical Christian church, Rook. I don't know if it used to be.
It was St. Paul, I believe.
All right. Lundy is, this guy who doesn't work, Jamal Lundy, a left-wing radical. He's running to represent District 65 in the Minnesota Senate. As Intergovernmental Affairs Coordinator, Lundy serves as a liaison between Mary Moriarty and the state legislature. In other words, he doesn't do anything.
Got it.
According to the Law Enforcement Legal Defense Fund, Moriarty's campaign received more than $500,000 from political groups funded by Hungarian-American billionaire George Soros.
I think you can call him a left-wing.
He's a left-wing radical activist.
Yeah.
Critics have condemned the soft-on-crime approach they say Soros-backed prosecutors have adopted. Moriarty, a left-wing radical, announced last year that her office will decline to prosecute most felony offenses arising from low-level traffic stops. We went through that last year.
Joe, it was indeed St. Paul's Episcopal Church on the Hill.
All right, I don't want to hear any more about it.
You guys are hyper-focused on that.
Well, we got it straightened out.
Okay, good. Finally.
You looking for a church, Kenny?
Neither Jamal Lundy's campaign nor his office, nor the office of the Hennepin County Attorney, Mary Moriarty, responded to a request for comment. State Representative Harry Niska, the Republican leader in the House, condemned Lundy's support for the agitators. It is incredibly disturbing that a top Hennepin County staffer, don't worry about it, Harry, he doesn't really have a job, would encourage protesters to break the law, Niska said. I guess he told that to the Daily Signal. I don't know what that is. Hennepin County residents should be very concerned that this is how top leadership in their county prosecutor's office conducts themselves. I'm about to enter a long soliloquy. I'm about to have one.
Okay.
All right. Agitators walked directly into the middle of the sanctuary at that church and shouted justice for Renee Good as they surrounded various members of the congregation. The agitators targeted the church because one of the pastors works for ICE. And it was this woke farmer who posted videos. Jamal, what's his name?
Lundy?
Yeah, what's District 65? Can anybody find that for me quickly?
I haven't looked it up yet.
Let me look.
District 65 has to be distinctly urban Minneapolis, I would imagine. He'll probably win. I think the Twin Cities are lost. I don't think there's a recovery in mind. What's happening now with ICE here has pushed fraud to the back burner. That will easily be forgotten by voters. The people who would vote for Jamal Lundy, though, wouldn't have cared about the fraud anyway. I think the Twin Cities are lost to a future of continuing degradation and corruption and the absolute absence of law enforcement. I think that's the future of Minneapolis and St. Paul. I don't see a recovery. I don't see it happening. I don't see any balance returning to the legislature. We've become so disrupted that it's pretty much over. That would be my estimation. There's a story that goes side by side with this. That was from the American Experiment. I could have brought it up yesterday. Our per capita income growth is declining, and it's been lagging since 2024.
Why is that, Joe?
Well, in other words, that we're not a community of people gathered here to experience commerce and help each other and work and flourish and achieve. We've settled into this malaise of leftism and progressivism, which has never offered anywhere anything to get excited about.
We've become a welfare city.
This progressive movement has nothing to offer in terms of beauty, achievement, accomplishment, success, the lifting up of more people. It has never accomplished that anywhere. Portland is floundering. Seattle is floundering. Minneapolis is floundering. San Francisco is floundering. Chicago is floundering. New York just elected a Marxist mayor. We have the urban America has given itself away to progressive movements that are not accomplishing anything. And the movement encompasses so many people that it was nothing for them to whip up a gang of 25 and race over to this church Sunday. They're not doing anything else. And what they're accomplishing is the continued diminution of the city. There's nothing to point to as an example of wonder or beauty or greatness or achievement or commerce or glory or goodwill. Nothing. They offer none of that. And yet they're taking over. And they took over Sunday at this city's church, an evangelical, non-denominational, which motivated by the idea that in their ideology, the pastor had no business also having a job, much less a job with ICE. For all we know, the guy's a saint.
Right.
No evidence has indicated, for example, that he was involved with the shooting of Renee Good. For all I know, he was back at church that day.
Right.
They don't
have any.
So somebody's going to have to, and they can't. Remember, we always would ask. I've asked to get on Chavez many times. What's the guy's name?
Jason
Chavez. Nobody comes through for me. Plus, he won't respond.
He's not coming on.
He won't come on because
Of
that's
course
my
not.
only question. Well, it could be him or anybody. It could be Nakima, who won't come on
She's
either.
not going to come on. You want to go down the list?
I want to know, what can you tell us that you've accomplished for the common good? They all preach the common good and have done nothing about it.
Their only goal is to continue the grift and line the pockets.
There's nothing you've ever done that has contributed to the wonder and beauty of people. All you do is diminish. Nothing. By the way, I guess as Black Lives Matter, which is proven to be just corrupt as hell, she's made a lot of money from that. Far left agitator Nakima. I guess her salary was $1 million.
Well, she made $1 million over the course of several years.
Yeah.
And they only get grants of $150,000 a year or something like that.
Did you know this about her? She's founder and CEO of her own cannabis company called Dope Roots.
There you go.
And she has led the nonprofit as executive director for 6 years from 2019 through 2024, according to tax filings by the Wayfinder Foundation. And according to the Wayfinder Foundation, she has raked in over $1 million during 6 years, leading a Minneapolis civil rights nonprofit that addresses anti-poverty issues. That wouldn't be Dope Roots, I imagine. Dope Roots is a different scam she's got going. So, other than making sure that they have food to eat, what do these leftist radicals accomplish? Serious rhetorical question. What have they
Financial gain?
What have they accomplished for the richness, not material richness, the spiritual and mental and emotional rich? What have they contributed to the richness of the Twin Cities?
Zilch.
We feed kids.
They don't even do that.
Well, they've increased crime. They've further divided the community. Sorry about that.
It's like that quote I read yesterday from Daniel Strand. Gabe isn't here today, so I don't know if Daniel Strand got back to us. He wrote something in a news post called First Things, and he wrote, I'm going to paraphrase, he said, the ideology of progressivism can never result in justice for all people because they only assign justice based on your status as a victim. So victimhood trumps common sense. Victimhood trumps the law. Victimhood trumps rules and regulations. Victimhood in their eyes trumps everything. And the higher you can get on the ladder of victimhood, the more you should be compensated, it seems. Like left-wing radicalist Nakima, who got $1 million over 5 years for running an anti-poverty group.
I have Daniel's paragraph if you want it.
I do.
The dirty little secret is that for all their talk of the public good, progressives do not have a conception of the common good because their conception of justice is rooted in a hierarchy of victimhood. Mm-hmm. When one pulls back the rhetorical layers of leftist ideologues, one finds a constellation of ideas that are wholly anathema to the public good of city, states, or nation.
That's right. I hope your garage door is hanging in there through the winter. This is going to be a real winter. We're headed into a really cold stretch. Trees could explode. Woo! So if your garage door is making a funny noise, call Precision Door, Precision Garage Door, and book a noisy door tune-up special. $149 regularly, a $290 value. Find out if she's going to make it through the winter. If you need a new door, get a hold of Precision Garage Door. They have new doors. They have models for every budget. And right now, GLers get $500 off the purchase of a door and the operator that opens and closes it, the operating mechanism. The designer comes out, choose your door, bing, bang, boom. That designer visit is free, of course. Book online at precisiondoormn.com. One word, precisiondoormn.com. Or call Precision Door at 612-263-6985. to schedule your free on-site new door estimate or book a precision door, noisy door tune-up special.
The Earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
GLer Sean had a shimmy problem. And being a GLer, he sat down, fired up the old noggin, and figured it out. And Joe, by the way, figured is F-I-G-G-E-R-E-D. Figured. He figured it out. Let me explain. And by the way, I have not seen Sean's tip on SeaFoamWorks.com. Sean writes, that tree rat wrapped its legs around the pole and shimmied on up to the bird feeder and went to town with the bird feed. Now, I want you in your mind's eye, think about Reavers stuffing his face with a rodeo burger. That's what that squirrel was doing. After thinking about it for a couple of minutes, I decided to try my deep creep, and I sprayed the pole, the children, and I then enjoyed a day of watching squirrels jump onto the pole and slide right down. Problem solved. Thank you, Deep Creep. Now, if you go to SeaFoamWorks.com, you're going to see a lot of products, a lot of tips and their various uses. I bet this one isn't on there, and I actually tried this out. I sprayed down one of our bird feeder poles, and we've had great fun mocking the squirrels here at Jackass Rants. Once again, its record is 100%. Deep Creep came to the rescue. Another wonderful product from our friends at Seafoam.
Here's Mr. John Heidt.
Thank you, Joe. This news brought to you by North American Banking Company. Vice President J.D. Vance will be traveling to Minneapolis tomorrow for a roundtable with local leaders and community members. The details of the visit have not yet been released. However, it comes, of course, at a time when ICE agents continue to carry out ops here in Minnesota, prompting protests across the state. The vice president previously visited the state in September to pay respects to the victims of the Annunciation Church shooting.
I drove by Signature Aviation yesterday going from T1 to T2, and I saw an aircraft that had the United States of America emblem on it. Would that have been Christy Noem?
I have no idea.
Okay.
So what you're trying to say, I know what your reaction was to this, by the way.
What?
Unlike a Major League Baseball player, he has a kid, he gets right back to work.
What are you talking about?
They just had another child, correct?
No, she's pregnant.
Oh, she's pregnant. Oh,
yeah, she hasn't
okay.
had the child.
I thought they had the child. My apologies.
No, they announced the pregnancy.
But you expect your
the Vances.
The
you
vice
expect
president.
your vice president to get right back to work.
Because, Joe and Patrick would always bitch when a Major League Baseball player would go to the birth of the child.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to. You should stay on the field.
I think my paternity leave lasted about 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, there's a new Minnesota, Matt. We're paying you to be you.
Yes.
I want you to know that when my child was born, that was a Friday evening at 7 o'clock, and at 6 a.m., I was in the studio doing news with Leighton Peck. So
Well,
Less than 12 hours later.
2
Joe
hours
was out
after
of
my
town,
second
wasn't he?
child was born, I got on a plane and left for New York to cover the U.S. Open.
Good luck.
Yeah, see you later.
Let me know how everything works out.
Yeah, the
but she
kid's
was-
all right. She turned out.
On the
all right.
contrary, she was happy about that.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
It was actually very helpful.
Federal officials discussed Homeland Security's ongoing immigration enforcement ops in Minnesota yesterday, defended their agents' actions. Marcos Charles, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Executive Associate Director of Enforcement and Removal Operations, and Border Patrol Commander-at-Large Greg Bovino, both slamming Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry for spreading what they called heated rhetoric. But Bovino also called people protesting ICE operations anarchists. All of this, of course, comes amid the high tensions and multiple lawsuits over the immigration enforcement surge and federal agents' conduct. Meanwhile, local law enforcement leaders in Minnesota called for more accountability and oversight of the ICE agents in the state. Officers from about a dozen Minnesota agencies stood with Brooklyn Park Police Chief Mark Bruley, St. Paul Police Chief Axel Henry, and Hennepin County Sheriff Dewana Witt at the state capitol as they shared concerns about getting endless complaints from U.S. citizens, their word, endless, including off-duty police officers who they said are being stopped without cause by agents demanding proof of citizenship. Chief Bruley recounted an incident involving one of his officers who was boxed in by federal agents while driving off-duty. They demanded her paperwork, of which she's a U.S. citizen, he said, and clearly would not have any paperwork on her. He added that when the officer tried to record the interaction, an agent knocked her phone out of her hand. Bruley explained that the agents had their guns drawn, prompting the officer to identify herself as a Brooklyn Park police officer in an effort to de-escalate the situation. The agents left immediately after without further comment. St. Paul Police Chief Axel Henry also shared similar experiences faced by city employees, noting, thankfully not with firearms drawn, but traffic stops that are clearly outside the bounds of whatever federal agents are allowed to do. Bruley emphasized the concern is not solely because off-duty officers are affected, but because officers are generally more knowledgeable about their rights and the U.S. Constitution.
I have one question about the stop. Is it Brooklyn Center police officer?
Brooklyn Park or Center?
Brooklyn Park.
Why didn't she instantly tell them she was a copper? Don't they carry their badge with them usually?
I think you would also always identify yourself, just saying, "Hey, just so you know."
I think it's dreadful that she was stopped.
Yes.
For apparently no reason at all. Why didn't she instantly say, "Hey, knuckleheads"?
Or did she
I'm
maybe-
one of you.
Did she maybe not do that because she didn't want to seem like she was trying to get a free pass?
Well,
That would be my only
free
thought.
pass from what?
Well, I mean, just saying like,
No,
hey,
no,
hey, I'm a
no.
cop, you can't stop me.
I think
No,
it's
no, no,
protocol
no,
to say,
no.
"I'm an off-duty police officer right now. Just a heads up."
May I?
Yes.
about
Today
time.
on News from the Krabby Coffee Shop, we are having a retired ICE agent on. He worked here in the Twin Cities from 97 to 2021. I'm not sure if we're going to divulge his name or not. I'm assuming we are, but since I don't know, I'm not going to say his name. And we're also working to get Brooklyn Park Police Chief Mark on, and we'll ask both of them a whole lot of questions about this on News from the Krabby Coffee Shop. We also have Jay Cole's 5 Eyewitness News was able to obtain video, exclusive video that nobody else has, of an ICE arrest in St. Paul within the last 5 days. And it was very standard, not unusual, nothing violent happened. And we're going to show that video.
For the former ICE guy, are you going to have that?
My name is Ray.
Wouldn't that be cool? And then he's in the shadows.
Yes.
I don't think we have that kind of technology. in
I
our
can
podcast.
guarantee you
Not
we
in the
don't
budget.
possess that kind of
We're going to have to
technology.
put a bag over his head or something.
But have him start out talking like that.
My name is Ray.
Yeah.
Because I would listen to that for sure.
And then numerous times through the interview, I will refer to him by his full name.
Yeah.
I mean, Jack.
Like when Joe says,
Frank.
Joe reads the name and then he goes, by the way, don't read my name on the air.
No, if Kenny, if we attempted to do something like that, you and Jay would be conducting the interview, and the guest would be in a black room, and then Joe would turn the light on, coming to look
Why
for a
is it so
pencil on the
dark in
ground.
here?
Who are you?
And
Hey,
we have also considered bringing Rookie in as a fake guest.
Oh,
He
any
could
day.
play J.D. Vance,
Any
or
day.
he could
Any
play
day.
Christy Nome.
Yep. Especially in these pants.
Federal prosecutors serving grand jury subpoenas yesterday to Minnesota officials as part of an investigation into whether they obstructed or impeded law enforcement during that immigration operation in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. The subpoenas, which seek records, were sent to the offices of Governor Tim Walz, Attorney General Keith Ellison, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, St. Paul Mayor Kelly Herr, and officials in Ramsey and Hennepin counties, the person said. Walz and Frey, both Democrats, have called the probe a bullying tactic meant to quell political opposition. Her, among immigrant and a Democrat, acknowledged a subpoena, saying she's, quote, unfazed by these tactics.
They're investigating Walz for the wrong reason. Investigate him for fraud.
Former Minnesota sports journalist and NFL sideline reporter Michelle Tafoya running for Congress. The former broadcaster and Emmy winner officially announcing this morning she's running in the U.S. Senate seat in Minnesota that's currently held by Senator Tina Smith. Tafoya joins a field that already includes several other prominent names, including Republican Party Chair David. Boy, I was told how to pronounce this and I already forgot. I think it's Hahn. No,
yes,
it might be
is.
Han.
No, it's Han.
Is it? Okay. Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan also there, and Congresswoman Angie Craig lead the Democratic candidates. Tafoya said, I didn't come to this decision lightly, but I'm not willing to stand on the sidelines when Minnesotans are let down by leaders who refuse to take responsibility. This campaign is about putting people first, not politics, as usual.
Peggy Flanagan couldn't get a job dealing cards.
And by the way, all of those characters that John just mentioned went to social media when Michelle announced this run.
I'm sure.
And basically just touted the same thing Walz has been saying, that we now need to fight this Trump-backed MAGA Republican here.
God.
It's not going to stop. It's just going to be the same talking points.
It's over here. It's over.
Yeah.
If you can get out, get out.
Good luck, Michelle.
Why don't we take a quick break here before we have national and international news and hear from Chris Reavers.
Thank you, Johnny. North American Banking Company is here to solve any financial needs for you, your family, and also for your business. And they have been doing it since 1998. And back then, they made a promise to create a better banking experience for their customers where you get to know your banker, but they, more importantly, also get to know you. And you do get that feeling with that personalized service anytime that you walk into any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations, whether it's 50th in France, Roseville, Woodbury, Hastings, Shoreview, and Maple Grove. They do offer all of the same updated online and mobile banking tools as all of those other big national banks. And you know what? You might think that a community bank wouldn't have that, but no, see it for yourself. It's nabankco.com to learn more. They also have a very neat and easy-to-use mobile app that you can download to your phone directly. nabankco.com to learn more. It doesn't matter whether you're looking to buy a home, perhaps finance a new home renovation project, or get that new car that you've been dreaming about. Their experts make it so easy, and they are locally owned and operated. And here's why that's important. That means all of those loan decisions are made right here in the Twin Cities. So for your business owners, you can solve problems quickly and also expand your business with confidence. Once again, nabankco.com to learn more. It's banking done differently. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender. Johnny?
Thanks, Chris. President Trump insisting he wants to get Greenland, including right, title, and ownership, but said he would not employ force to achieve that, using his speech today at the World Economic Forum to repeatedly deride European allies and vow that NATO should not try to block U.S. expansionism. He urged NATO to allow the U.S. to take Greenland from Denmark. The president even added an extraordinary warning, saying alliance members can say yes and, quote, we'll be very appreciative, or you can say no and we will remember. Despite that, Trump acknowledged we probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force, where we would be frankly unstoppable, but I won't do that. Okay, I don't have to use force. I don't want to use force. I won't use force. Instead, he called for opening immediate negotiations for the U.S. to acquire Greenland. He said, this enormous unsecured island is actually part of North America, and that's our territory. The president came to the forum on the heels of threatening steep U.S. import taxes on Denmark and 7 other allies unless they negotiate a transfer of the country, a concession the European leaders indicated they won't make. The president said tariffs would start at 10% next month and climb to 25% in June. French President Emmanuel Macron, in his address to the forum, made no direct mention of President Trump, but urged fellow leaders to reject acceptance of the law of the strongest. The whole NATO situation does have one country happy, apparently, and that would be Russia. Russian President Vladimir Putin has sought to undermine NATO for nearly 2 decades. A Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov appealed to Trump's ego this week as the president pressed the issue. He said by resolving the issue of Greenland's annexation, Trump will undoubtedly go down in the history books, not only in the history of the United States, but in world history. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that the alliance was in deep crisis, adding he hadn't previously imagined a scenario in which one member of the alliance would ever attack another. Lavrov said Russia was merely monitoring the situation. He dismissed the president's assertion that Russia would seize the island if the U.S. didn't, saying Moscow had no such plans.
We have a bit of Trump audio here.
We saw this in World War II when Denmark fell to Germany after just 6 hours of fighting, and was totally unable to defend either itself or Greenland. So the United States was then compelled, we did it, we felt an obligation to do it, to send our own forces to hold the Greenland territory. And hold it we did, at great cost and expense. They didn't have a chance of getting on it, and they tried. Denmark knows that. We literally set up bases on Greenland for Denmark. We fought for Denmark. We weren't fighting for anyone else. We were fighting to save it for Denmark. Big, beautiful piece of ice. It's hard to call it land. It's a big piece of ice. But we saved Greenland and successfully prevented our enemies from gaining a foothold in our hemisphere. So we did it for ourselves also. And then after the war, which we won it big. Without us, right now, you'd all be speaking German and a little Japanese, perhaps.
Well, Don,
After the war, we gave Greenland back to Denmark. How stupid were we to do that? But we did it. But we gave it back. But how ungrateful are they now?
You know, Don, somebody's got to tell him. He was speaking to a room of people who do speak German.
Yeah.
So here's what I want.
Here we go.
9.
Here's what I want.
All you Germans would be speaking.
And he sounded terribly sane in that bit
Sounded
of audio.
tired, to be honest.
But here, the country deserved this with Biden, too. Don't get me wrong. And it deserves it with Trump. Would the country, and the country so divided, I'm sure this is an impossible ask on my part, but what if you could settle on a panel of recognized medical experts, psychiatry, whatever fields would have to be included, and have them listen to his press conference yesterday, which was an hour and 45 minutes. It wasn't really a press conference. And seriously, and determine what they think of that. Is this a fellow rowing with one oar, or is this the real deal? Or and it would have been, I said, the same thing with Biden. It was never applied to Biden. It's never going to be applied to Trump. But I heard some things yesterday that, well, at one point, he absolutely praised the Hells Angels and said how much they liked him and voted for him, and they protected him. The Hells Angels. I didn't know they were. I didn't know they
Had a
were.
good heart, or-
I didn't know they were involved in anything.
He was playing at Altamont, don't you remember? Sorry.
And we'll never get that. We'll never get answers that are sane and reasonable. We'll just keep going like this.
Right.
You know. So
He did run into some problems with Greenland and Iceland this morning too. That speech we just played the clip from. He kept calling Greenland Iceland.
Same thing.
you know what? It's pretty
Come
close.
on.
Very confusing.
Close enough.
Right.
It's a lot of ice. Big piece of ice is what I heard.
Big
It's hard
piece of
to even
ice.
call it land. It's
Yes,
just a big
it's
piece of ice.
Yes.
Air Force One had some issues as they were flying to Switzerland. It was plunged into darkness and had to make a U-turn in midair and come back to the United States. The crew of the modified Boeing 747-200B made the call to abort the journey less than an hour into the flight, headed back to the U.S. White House officials said the decision was made out of
An abundance of caution.
Thank you. And stressed the electrical issue is minor. The president and his entourage soon hopped on another plane, an Air Force C-32, usually used for smaller domestic trips, and flew to the World Economic Forum. DOGE, remember DOGE?
I do.
Employees with the Department of Government Efficiency who were detailed to the Social Security Administration last March shared sensitive data through a third-party server that was non-secure in violation of agency security policies, according to the Justice Department. The Social Security Administration does not know what data was shared on the server or whether it still exists there. 16 formal correction to statements that Social Security Administration officials made to a federal court in Maryland last spring made that admission, but the disclosure about the third-party server confirms concerns among career government employees and data security experts that DOGE's chaotic access to sensitive government data risks sharing the data broadly and without knowing what was exposed or who had seen it. Last August, the Social Security Administration's chief data officer, shortly before he resigned, filed a whistleblower complaint over DOGE employees' activities, saying they had shared a crucial database on a private server. A problem with too much oil and low prices is causing drilling in North Dakota's Bakken oil fields to be slowed down.
Isn't that a good problem?
I would think so, except I first found out about this story from an employee who works for a company that he will not be working now for a while. The company that brought fracking to North Dakota's Bakken oil fields is pulling back on activity, not ending operations completely. Harold Hamm, founder of Continental Resources, recently told Bloomberg that he plans to halt drilling in the Bakken. Continental is among the largest oil producers in that area. The pullback is a sign of a low oil price environment, which has slowed production across the entire United States, not just in North Dakota, according to officials. North Dakota Governor Kelly Armstrong said Continental is not pulling up stakes and leaving the state, just slowing things down. Officials often attribute the low price to a global oversupply of oil, outpacing demand by about 2 to 3 million barrels per day. Getting enough vitamin D can help protect you against the flu, according to a new study.
Really?
Why not?
It revealed that people with a severe vitamin D deficiency were 33% more likely to be admitted to a hospital with a respiratory tract infection than those who were getting adequate amounts. Vitamin D is the only supplement recommended for everyone during winter months when exposure to sunlight, which the body uses to produce the nutrient, is limited. It's already known to help regulate the amount of calcium and phosphorus in the body, which is vital for bone and muscle health, but experts also think it may have antiviral properties.
Is D what you get from the sun?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that one of the words, Rick, that
I guess you did, John.
that your buddy had trouble with? The phosphorus? Wasn't that one of the ones?
Who are you talking to? You're not supposed to be talking to him.
Phosphate,
No,
wasn't it?
no.
No, that was the chick at Bridgman's.
Oh, I thought it was a
The
buddy
waitress.
of yours. I'm sorry.
Phosphate, 55 or French fries. She had a bad tooth problem.
Well, I hope she's fine now.
Yeah,
I think she sought some orthodontistry.
All right.
Was it a
I'm not
snaggle
sure that's
tooth,
a word.
Matthew?
What?
Was it a snaggle tooth?
Yeah, she could.
Matt,
she could eat an apple through a picket fence. Yep.
That's a good one.
Matt, be kind. Be kind to
I
this.
hope she did. She a cute red-haired gal.
Well, I'm sure
she
she's
worked for Jim up there.
You of all people telling him to be kind.
Well, I don't.
That's a really good
Well,
I'm not
problem,
going
he
after
knows
somebody
the
with a
story.
snaggle tooth.
He knows that we went up there maybe 3-4 times a week to inquire about the current price of a plate of French fries, which she had to say 55. And then we'd giggle and go get some bubble gum in James Pharmacy.
Well, that's not kind.
Don't even go on phosphates. Phosphates.
So
was
wait a minute,
different
you would do that multiple times a week?
just to go see if they changed
55.
And then when
Joe-
she says it, you say, what?
Well, yeah, and Joe commented, I bet she was really happy when the price went to 60 cents, right? But we went to Sally. We went and saw Sally.
I bring this up all the time. There's a lot of catchphrases at my house from this show.
Yeah.
And that, of course, 55
And you
is
have
one.
to say it with your buck teeth.
Until the day I die, we'll be doing that at my house.
55.
Thank you.
How old are you after your birthday on December 23rd?
55.
Thank you.
It's hard to believe, isn't it?
It is. I can't believe I'm that childish and I'm that age.
Childish.
At this point, it ain't getting any better.
I'm
Right.
throwing in the towel.
I just love that the guy that coined the phrase "some GD Mountain Dew drinker" is defending this snaggletooth broad from 40 years ago.
I have a question.
Joe goes to me when one of her first days down here. He says, "Hey, someone was looking for you." I said, "Oh, who was it?" "I don't know, one of those Mountain Dew drinking a-holes."
I didn't say that.
Oh my God! It was one of the five funniest
I don't
things
believe
you've
he said
ever
anything
uttered.
like that.
I don't.
Probably
Thanks,
just
Matt.
A fine gentleman from
Thank
down
you.
the hall.
Thank you.
So funny.
Is this irony? The dose of winter weather forecast for this weekend is too harsh for Winterfest on Broadway. In Green Bay, Wisconsin, On Broadway Inc. has canceled the annual Winterfest on Broadway outdoor celebration because of the weather.
Okay, forget that. It's hockey day.
I was actually just going to say the same thing.
Saturday in Hastings.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
No, seriously, I wonder what they're going to do.
I would think they'd almost have to. You can't sit outside.
Those kids can't take that.
That's going to be brutal.
They should be in a warm room.
Okay.
Yep.
There's a snowmobile race in Sauk Center, and it's going to be 6 below for the high. And there's a snowmobile race in Wausau, Wisconsin, where it's going to be below 0 for the high.
6
Either one of
below
those
is
will be
nothing.
canceled.
No, it's nothing.
That's nothing.
That's
Kenny, isn't
nothing.
Snowcross at Canterbury this
It's
weekend
not
too?
snowcross. It's oval racing.
You know what your
sorry.
hardcore runners say?
What?
There's no such thing as bad weather. There's only bad clothes.
You know, speaking of that, I saw a runner out over the weekend when the wind was blowing 50 miles an hour. And this Hooplehead City was out there turning a lap in
Yeah,
anger.
but I bet he was well layered up.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
He got frostbite.
Yes.
Green Bay is expecting dangerously low wind
we're
chills.
at Green Bay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Minus 30 to minus 40 this weekend. Wouldn't it be fun if the Packers were playing a championship game
Yeah,
for
it's
the
too bad
NFC
they sucked it up and lost. Huh?
at home?
They lost. That would be a great game at home. Now, will Denver be anticipating this serious storm that's bringing calamity and catastrophe to the middle of the country?
That'd be fantastic.
Hell, it's 60 degrees today in Denver.
Yeah.
Did you
But
look?
they're not playing today.
Good. You know what? Don't tell me
You
that.
are so-
No, that's not. That's.
I looked at Denver. I was checking Miami, too. It looks like bring your pets in tonight 'cause it's 48 degrees.
I'm curious about things.
I know you are.
Joe, you must have liked the weather last week in the games, right? With the snow and
Oh,
everything.
I did. It wasn't snowing hard. I the old Prince line. Can you make it snow harder? You know, he said, "Can you make it rain harder?" I wanted it to snow worse. You know,
Chris, that race you spoke of was a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, I thought it was this weekend. My
Or
apologies.
last week. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you want some more, Joe?
Yes.
Okay.
Canterbury.
A recent study by Harvard says the optimal way to extend life is adding more variety to your exercise routines. 30 years.
8, 9.
For 30 years, they tracked more than 111,000 people, finding that those with the broadest mix of physical activity had an almost 20% lower risk of early death from all causes. You'll like this, Joe. The best single activity associated with the lowest risk of death? Walking.
that's what I'm talking about.
Gets the blood moving.
That's what I'm talking about.
17% lower for those who did the most walking compared with those who did the least. Individually, tennis, squash. Who plays squash?
My old man was a very good squash player.
Is squash
Really?
with a racket or is
It's a racket game, yeah.
It's a card game.
With a
Matthew.
hard, round ball. You could really
what's
get.
the difference between handball, squash, and racquetball?
Well, you use a racket with squash, and you don't use your you use your hand with handball.
What about racquetball? He's right. 'Cause
Racquetball, I'm not terribly familiar with it. Isn't it a bigger?
What's all that racket?
The squash racket is it's almost dainty looking. It's
like a ping pong paddle kind of?
no, it's a racket. It has a handle like a tennis racket, but the head is not that big.
There were
You should be allowed to beat each other with your rackets during racquetball.
Yeah, that's happened.
Early 80s, there was a documentary about a mermaid where two brothers were playing racquetball. One guy was playing about 10 minutes and his heart was beating like a rabbit.
Yeah, I remember he got hit right in the head.
Right smack in the head. Yeah, it's a
forehead.
dangerous game.
How'd that
racquetball.
turn out?
There's
The end of that
there's
documentary.
a squash club at the Commodore in St. Paul.
That's fascinating, Joe. Anyway, how'd that documentary turn out, Matthew?
He went with the mermaid.
Yeah.
And the big fat brother was jailed for impersonating a mermaid.
Yeah. It turned out okay, sort of.
But they did print his letter in Penthouse in the
See
forum
this balloon?
section.
You just put a little pin in it, don't
I think
you?
you're the only. You don't even know what movie we're talking about.
Yeah,
if you
something
can
about
name
it.
the movie, I'll give you some candy.
Splash.
Okay, there's it.
Wow.
There you go, Chuckles.
How many times
Here's
has
a nickel. Why don't you go have a rat
Have a
gnaw
Werther's.
that mole off your face?
how many
That was
times
Uncle
did
Bob.
young Matthew Mikulski take in the fine film Splash?
Probably 0 because he's a success.
Excuse me? Excuse me, Mr. Trump? Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow, that is
He's a
karma.
success. He didn't waste his youth watching mermaid movies.
Right. I was at the theater, so I saw it.
I
15
suppose you
million.
saw it.
I was
You had to work
being
there.
paid to watch the
You had
movie.
to work there.
Yes.
Joe, it's not a movie. It's a film.
Film.
Thank you very much.
What film did you see today?
Say GLers.
What are you doing?
Dangerous driving out there now. You don't want to get in an accident.
No.
And if you do, it's going to be tough to deal with the insurance company unless you have a good team on your side. That's Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys. Insurance companies and adjusters can be tough to deal with, so having someone on your side is important. Mike Bryant is among the state's best. Bradshaw and Bryant and his team are there to help explain your rights, represent you, and help you in a tough time. I hope you're never in an accident, but if you are, call Bradshaw and Bryant at 800-770-7008 or go to minnesotapersonalinjury.com for a free case evaluation. And don't be part of the problem. Don't text and drive or drive distracted, especially in this weather. That's just common sense from Mike Bryant at Bradshaw and Bryant.
I got something.
Well, just a minute.
Here we go.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Souchere.
I hope at this party they have really good, what would you call them on the bar? What are those called? The extras?
Pickled pig's feet.
No, the
snacks.
Snacks, yeah, bar snacks.
You know, and that's the thing. You know how popular the Garage Logic podcast has made We Are Nuts?
How popular
is it?
700 different Quick Trip locations they're in now.
Holy moly.
Wow.
700?
700
They're
Quick
not
Trip
paying enough.
locations.
Quick Trip, you guys are crazy not to let us talk about you.
And by the way, I was in the Mankato area over the weekend, and I took a picture of the display of the We Are Nuts thing that was there, and then